quit my job to do this, just help people by answering questions and stuff.
What do you invest in?
So we're at the casino. And
like a 1% of the world's GDP.
And I was wanting some free advice.
Welcome to Free Advice Guy. I'm Luke Halter, Free Advice Guy. We're out in Old Town Scottsdale, hoping to have conversations and maybe change people's lives. Welcome back. Our first episode was a great start to the night with 3 impactful conversations. Today, we have 3 more conversations that were surprisingly deep. We begin with this gentleman who was here in Scottsdale for his bachelor party. He was such a good dude. He literally said, "Do you need content?" and jumped right into a deep talk about investments. All right, shoot away.
Awesome. I mean, I work in personal finance. I work in finance. I work as a fund administrator, SSG. I always push personal finance on my friends and family. Like, it's a big thing for me. 401k, right? Roth IRA, HSA, triple tax advantage.
Oh yeah.
I'm all about it. That's the biggest thing for me. For you especially, what do you invest in? For your Roth and an HSA, I'm all indexes. Do you recommend anything outside of that?
Are you me? Are we?
I'm trying to be you right now.
So I'm actually very similar because, with the research, you've probably done it as well. It's almost impossible to beat an index fund. You got people who make a lot of money every year and they fail trying to beat the markets.
Yeah,
so
agree.
Why spend the time for the chance to lose money? So my favorite fund for long-term investing, we'll say north of 10 years, is VTI, or the Total Stock Market Index Fund. I like international too, so I like the Total Stock Market Index Fund as well. So those 2 funds, and this is not for everybody, but I'm super aggressive all the time. If stock market lost 90% tomorrow, I wouldn't blink, I'd throw more money at it.
Agreed.
So I'm 100% stock, but that's not for everybody, but those are essentially the 2 funds. I do also own some Vanguard Prime Cap.
Great.
It is an active fund.
I'm 31. I know they say, your age minus 100 for bonds. I know they pushed that now to 120 minus your age. I personally, again, I'm not, maybe my 401k is barely 10% bonds.
Yep.
Everything else, I'm 100% stock, 100%. So, and mostly S&P. I know Warren Buffett says 90% S&P, 10% a mid bond fund, you're fine for most people.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree. Again, I'm mostly S&P, total stock market, probably 20-30% international. I think that's a great way to get, I think that's fantastic for people.
Yeah.
But, bonds, hit or miss. You don't need to, but.
So I think bonds are for a particular person.
Agreed.
Like the person who can't stomach as much volatility, the bonds provide downside protection against the stock market. And that's a beautiful thing for people.
Yeah.
But for people who can stomach the ride, historically, and I predict, but who knows, stocks will continue to outperform, bonds or any other fixed income security.
Yeah.
So I like just rocking as aggressively as possible.
And I think someone like in my, millennials like myself, COVID was a perfect example of that, where you finally saw such a dip down. I mean, I think the Dow was maybe 26, it went down to 19.
Yeah.
That was a tough one to stomach for a lot of people. And I can imagine a lot of people who are maybe skeptical about the stock market, where that's a great example. It's like, oh my God, like that's too much for me.
Yeah.
For myself, I didn't look at it for a week or 2, right? And look how it's now come back.
Same.
So,
I was looking for coins in the couch to try and throw.
It's a great one to go for.
Yeah, it's if you can look at those downturns as buying opportunities, it sort of changes your emotions when it comes to the markets. But that's really hard for people to do, to watch their 100,000 turn into 60,000. They're like, not kind of having the stomach to just let it ride back up. And then, like you said today, if you would have just let it ride, you'd be up probably at least 100+% at this 100%. Point.
I bought a investment property 2021. I wish I bought 3 of them. I had a 2.5% interest rate. Again, I wish I had multiple.
Right.
I didn't have the capital at the time, but I wish I did. Question for you. I know this is probably the next one people ask about. It's cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
So I'm not dogmatic when it comes to cryptocurrency. I'm a fan of it for the right type of person.
Okay.
Right. Just to put it out there, I think Bitcoin in particular, and there are of course going to be some other ones, has a crazy high ceiling possibility. right? There's only going to be 21 million coins ever mined, so it's not going to be inflationary, whereas our dollars will likely continue to be inflationary forever. So as an inflation hedge, I think it's good, and I do think there is a possibility for people to make a lot of money when it comes to Bitcoin with Bitcoin in the long term. But I think it's not the right investment for a lot of people because they don't understand what it is. Right. So if people understand the why behind the Bitcoin, then I think it could be a wonderful investment.
And
for
you
people.
say, when you say that Bitcoin, you also including Ethereum in that? And what about altcoins? Is there a place for altcoins? For the general investor, maybe?
Yeah, so when it comes to altcoins, I consider Bitcoin more reputable, that some of your real money can kind of go towards Bitcoin. Whereas altcoins, I would still put them in like the penny stock conversation. The money you're willing to have go to zero for the chance it's going to skyrocket, right?
You need to be okay with it going to zero.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
If you're going to put anything to it.
Exactly, for the altcoins, until they reach a certain point. But even then, we don't know what's on the horizon, and that's why I hesitate. Like when people compare Bitcoin to gold, gold's an actual metal you can hold. Bitcoin is nothing.
No.
You know, it's just some blockchain, and I do believe the system will be around for a long time, but you don't know what's going to happen to the technology or anything. We think we do, but anything could happen.
Yeah, we're about to go to the bar.
All right, I'm going to take it away, bud.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Good luck, too.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations again, brother. Thank you for chatting. Next up, a big winner from a casino. As is most often the case for anyone who is hit big at a casino, this man had one thing on his mind: taxes.
All right, man, shoot away.
So we were at the casino, and I was doing 250 spins on the slot, and we won 2,300 bucks.
Hey.
So I have no idea what to do. They said we can take out taxes, but I have no idea how much the taxes are.
Okay, so it's going to be dependent on your income and all that sort of stuff. Where do you normally end at the end of the year in your tax bracket?
Like, what's the brackets? I don't even know the brackets.
Well,
Like 70, I would say 75 net.
okay. That's not going to drastically affect you in one way or another.
Okay.
I would speak with a tax advisor to see, because maybe that bumps you up over some threshold and now you owe a little bit more on that amount. Whereas if you have like a 401k, maybe you increase the amount going into your 401k to lower your taxable income. Yeah. So then they offset each other.
Okay.
You can do that almost at 100%. Like if you know now you have 2,300 bucks here, you can now just increase your 401k and earn or get paid that much less in your paycheck, if that makes sense.
Interesting, yeah. All right, sweet.
Yeah, anything else?
No, I think we're good, yeah.
Can I ask you one question?
Oh, go for it, uh-oh.
What does financial success look like to you?
Generational wealth. I mean, investing all your money, don't keep it in a savings account. Make sure your money's a vehicle, you know? Always make sure your money's making money. That's what I would say.
Hey, I love that. So what steps are you taking to accomplish that?
I invest everything.
Really?
I keep about 3 to 6 months worth of income in my savings. That's about it. Everything else is invested.
Okay, well, you might be able to refine that a little bit more if you actually do a budget and figure out what your basic living expenses are. Because then, like most people will say in my industry, 6 months as a minimum of basic living expenses.
Okay.
I like 12 months because I'm a conservative guy, but from there you can actually then maximize, because you'll know I have 6 months or whatever makes you comfortable to cover my bills should I lose my job.
Yeah.
And then you literally can just put every dollar extra into investments, helping you achieve your goal.
That's sick. Yeah, that's perfect. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
Like and subscribe. Turn on notifications.
Free Advice Guy is completely crowdfunded. If you could support the mission financially, click the Patreon link down below for exclusive member live streams, videos, and community benefits. Together, we will help millions of people achieve financial literacy.
Last, but certainly not least, this guy. We started out talking about Vanguard and delved deep into strange territory, but man, it was great.
All right.
You want to?
What was it like controlling like a 1% of the world's GDP?
Well, I had none of that, but it was actually kind of cool to work for a company who had as much power.
What's your
and
opinion
clout.
on Vanguard BlackRock, like that operation, both of them?
So Vanguard is different than anybody else out there. Like, I don't know if you knew this, but Vanguard is actually client owned. So
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, they're not trying to get shareholders rich. They're just trying to make more profits for their clients. If you own a Vanguard fund, you are a client. So it's a completely different thing. I slept very heavily, very deep sleep every night because I never went to bed with a bad conscience.
That makes sense. So, like, explain. So let's say. So, how would be my way of entering into Vanguard, right? Like, if I want to invest money in Vanguard, what's that look like?
If you want to do everything online, you could always call and they could help you out. But
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm all right with that. Sure.
but so you could go online and really just create an account, put your information in, boom, you're ready to go. It's like it's really quick. Now I haven't worked there in about a year, so.
But so what, like, so obviously, like, if I invest in Apple, right, I'm technically a partial owner of Apple, right?
Correct.
Exactly. So I have some say in, like, the stock. What's the difference between that and me buying some shares in Vanguard? Does that make sense? Like, is it actually like an employee-owned business? You know what I mean, or is it?
Yeah.
Like,
so
you
it's
guys still have a
client-owned.
CEO. Okay.
Yeah. So we still have CEO. We still have they still have CEO and all that. The main difference is the root of everything Vanguard does. It's in their clients' best interest. Vanguard is a fiduciary for their clients. That's part of the reason I became a certified financial planner, is so that I could be a fiduciary. It means I have to do what's in your best interest.
So, all right, so it's a financial investment firm, right? So the whole point of it is to make their clients money anyway. So what's the difference between that and a normal financial investment fund? Does that make sense? Because like, if I go invest my money with some like random guy, he tells me I'm going to go invest your money, I'm going to do well with it. He's working for me, right? So then I'm technically a partial owner of the company or whatever. So do they have say over where that money's getting invested? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so...
like over the trades that are made?
Yeah, so there's multiple things though. You can have your account managed, and then Vanguard will pick all your funds for you. You got to agree to them, but they'll pick all your funds for you, and then you're good to go. And then there are other financial advisors who they just want control. So you just hand over your portfolio to some financial advisor who will do whatever it is they do. They don't really need your say to change investments or to do different things. So that's discretionary. They have discretion over your account to do whatever they want.
So Vanguard's asking me permission to do certain things with my funds.
Yeah, once you're enrolled, they'll tell you what the plan is. Okay. So you'll know moving forward, these are the funds, this is my allocation, this is when they will make changes. But otherwise, you're gonna essentially own the same 4 to 8 funds your whole life. They're just going to rebalance them to make sure that it's at the right asset allocation based on your time horizon and risk tolerance.
So does a certain amount of money that I've invested determine the amount of say that I have and how that money's spent? Does that make sense? Like same way to, like, I go to a shareholder meeting at Apple, right? And if I own like a large majority of shares, I have a huge say in what the company's doing, right?
Correct.
Is that similar to Vanguard?
So, no. The ownership structure isn't quite like that. You're not voting on the board. You're not voting on decisions. But Vanguard, through ownership of their mutual funds, you own shares of stock, so you can vote by proxy to that company. But I don't believe it has any sort of bearing on what Vanguard itself does.
That makes sense. So what I'm just looking at for here is, right, like how much say do I actually have as someone investing my money into Vanguard? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, so obviously I know a lot more about BlackRock than I do Vanguard, right? And my biggest problem with BlackRock is the buying up single family homes.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because it just raises home prices across the board, and it's not good for people,
Yep.
like generally the average citizen. Is that like, does Vanguard participate in that, or is that a different kind of thing?
So Vanguard, whatever they buy, generally tracks something. So Vanguard doesn't have like a single family homes investment thing. They might invest in REITs, retail investment trusts. So they might have, or real estate investment trust, sorry. So they might buy those, and that trust is buying
So they're
homes.
investing in companies that do it, but the difference between Vanguard and BlackRock is BlackRock's actually going out to do it themselves and operating as the business.
Correct.
That makes sense. So it's more up to the people who are investing in Vanguard whether or not they're choosing to put their money into those specific trusts.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
Into those specific investments.
All right,
Now,
so-
if you own, say, the entire U.S. stock market, like the total stock market index fund for long-term investing is one of my favorites. If you're risky, but you will own REITs, is the short term for the real estate investment trust. You'll own REITs inside of that fund, but you can control it. If you don't want to own a REIT company or anything like that, you can choose other investments to avoid those sort of things.
So you're choosing the aspects of the company in which you want to invest in.
Correct.
So then, okay, that makes sense, because then, so the way you're saying you slept perfect at night, it's like each individual client is choosing which aspect of the business that they're investing in.
Yeah, so like a basic thing, and I would do this now, even though I don't work at Vanguard. I think the basis for most people's investments should be the entire world stock and bond market, and that you owe it at an allocation that makes sense based on your time horizon and risk tolerance. So from there, they're going to tell you, hey, these are the funds we think you should be in. But you might go, nah, I don't believe in the ethics of XYZ. I want nothing to do with that. They'll try and build through other funds in that. But that's if your account is managed. You as an individual can do whatever you want. You can just go in and buy this fund, this stock, that stock. You can choose exactly what you want. But if you want your assets managed by an advisor, they will kind of give you a, hey, this is what we're thinking, unless you have some moral.
Unless you bring in, like, say you have a specific religion, you don't want to invest in like specific types of things, they'll work with you on that.
Yes, as much as they can. So like there's one of the social, I think they call it a social index. It's companies that are supposed to be better socially, maybe for the environment or whatever it is. And people will invest in that instead of the total stock market because they want to avoid oil. They want to avoid guns. They want to avoid whatever it is. So they invest in the social one.
I can't remember the name of it. It has a specific acronym, but that's the one where it's the thing. Every company's graded on a specific scale by that. What's the acronym for that?
I forgot, but where they measure the green rating,
Yeah,
essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like basically. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. No, you answered a lot of my questions. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun talking to you, bro. What was your name one more time?
I'm Luke, or free advice guy.
Cool.
So if TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, anything like that, I'm here to help.
What's the chances I end up on there now?
Fairly high, I'd say.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're cool with that?
No, I'm all right with that, bro.
All right,
Yeah,
it'll probably be up
good conversation.
next Friday.
The strangest of our conversations increased mildly in this video, but the next one, yeah, I don't even know how to prepare you. Let's just say Richard has free reign to make this into whatever he wants, and it'll be different. Fun different, but different. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out part 1. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.